Hello everyone, my name is Ender. Today we continue learning about cryptocurrencies, and today I will explain what is decentralization and why do we need it. So let's start. Decentralization is one of the most important topics in cryptocurrencies because basically that is why we need cryptocurrencies. Decentralization. Everything else, security, blah, 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 all of that is not really that important if we don't have decentralization. And I will give you two examples. The first one is Safe Token and Aave. So let's start. What is decentralization and why do we need it? So in our current world, we always need a trusted third party. So let me give you an example. You want to send money to your friend. Most of the time, you either give him cash, so you meet your friend in person and give him cash, or you use your bank account. So basically, bank is a trusted third party. And what does that mean? That means that you trust your bank with the money and with sending that money to your friend. And that trust is really important because we can monetize it, and that's what banks do. So basically, whenever you want, well, it depends on the bank, but whenever you want to send money to your friend, you probably have to pay some fee. And that fee is why we have that operation available, why we can send money to our friends. Or another example is that if you need to buy a house, you need a trusted third party that will arrange all the documents, so you don't just give money to a random person who doesn't own the house. And you need the documents, you need third party, and most of the times, third party in financial world is a bank or a broker. If you want to buy stocks on an exchange, you need a broker. But what is the problem with that trusted third party? The problem is that, first of all, as I said, everything, so every operation can be monetized. And if you only have one third party or a very big third party, like a big bank, for example, they can raise their fees very high, and that's a monopoly. Of course, that will probably never happen, but I mean, it happens right now all the time. But it will not happen in all the cases of our life. So first of all, we can have monopoly with one trusted third party, and the other problem with one third party is that they can decide to interfere with the operations. So basically, when I say that trusted third party can be a bank, imagine that you want to send money to your friend, but bank just says, sorry, but your account is closed. What will you do with that money? How can you send that money to your friend if your account is closed? So basically, that trusted third party can be influenced or can influence the final outcome of some operation. And that is really bad. Because if we want to send money to our friends, or if we want to execute some operations, and that trusted third party can be anyone. It can be a postman. So for example, a postman comes up to you and says, I'll get your mail and I'll send it to your friend. You trust that postman, or you trust that man, female, to get that mail and send it to your friend. Because maybe that postman will just get the mail and disappear. You don't know. So trusted third parties are really important because they can influence the outcome of the transaction, outcome of the event. And we don't really want that, because if I trust someone, I actually don't want to trust anybody, because why do I need to trust anybody if I can just do the transaction like this? Just like this, just straight from actor to actor. But of course, that's really hard because we have the infrastructure like banks, we have the infrastructure like post services, we have infrastructure like most of the things in our world. So we have contracts, we have banks, we have big corporations, and that is the biggest problem. Well, not the biggest problem, but that's a big problem today. Because trusted third parties can influence the outcome of different transactions, different events. And when we move to cryptocurrency, decentralization allows us to completely remove our trusted third party. So that is our conventional world. We have someone, we trust someone, and someone else receives the outcome. So in cryptocurrencies, it's all different. Because what we have is we don't have any trusted party. We have nodes. So what is a node? Node is basically a computer somewhere around the world that runs a program. So you have Bitcoin software, or you have Ethereum software, or they're called nodes, Ethereum node, Bitcoin node. You start up your node. Of course, you have some prerequisites like the amount of memory you have, the internet you have, and so on. But you start your node, and what you do is store all the transactions and not validate, but store all the transactions in your node. Different nodes work differently, and it all depends on the network. But the most important idea is that node is a computer that just stores all your transactions, kind of like this. And of course, they may vary. They may store not only transactions but some other data, but typically transactions is all they store, like in the most basic way. So node is a computer that stores your transactions. It's basically a computer that runs a software. So basically we have Bitcoin software, we run it on our computer. That's a node. Then we connect it to the network. But as you can see, the network does not have a server, because basically when we use in a conventional world, what we have is a client and a server. A server is something that someone owns, but here in that cryptocurrency world, we don't have any. So we have node 1, node 2, node 4, and node 3. And all those nodes are interconnected with each other. All those nodes know about each other. Well, maybe some nodes don't know about other nodes, but the network is full of nodes, and all those nodes are in different parts of the world with different owners. So I can have 5 Bitcoin nodes. I can have 10 Bitcoin nodes. I can have 20 Bitcoin nodes. And all those nodes can be in different parts of the world. And basically, decentralization allows us to run those pieces of software in different, so around the globe, maybe on different planets even in the future. And that allows us to not have one third party, because we don't trust anyone. Why is that? Imagine that bank wants to close your account, or bank wants to do something malicious with your funds. What can you do? So the bank just trusts a third party. When we go back to conventional mechanism, they just close your account. They just snap their fingers, they execute a command, they do something, they close your account. Of course, it's not always like that, but they can do it. So they can close your account. But in this world, if somebody wants to do something malicious, if somebody wants to interfere with the final outcome of the network, with the finality, what's going to happen? So imagine that I own node 1, and for some reason I want to interfere with that specific transaction. So 2 people want to exchange money, and I want to interfere with that transaction. And I own node 1. What's going to happen? I can go into my software, because I'm basically running the program on a computer. That's a node, a program on a computer. I can go into software, because I'm a programmer, and I can change the software. I change the software so that that person cannot get his money to this person, cannot send this money to his friend or some other guy. And what happens? If I change my software, or if I somehow drop the transaction, interfere with the outcome, node 2, node 3, and node 4 are gonna say, wait a minute, why does node 1 say that transaction is fail? So transaction is a fail, transaction is not valid, invalid, if we say that transaction is valid. So basically, if only one node says that something is bad, all other nodes can confirm that it's not. And then we understand that the majority of the nodes is correct. The majority is always correct. That's the basic idea of cryptocurrency. The majority is correct. And if the majority says that node 1 is a bad actor, node 1 wants to interfere with the transaction, then they say, okay, you either fix your transaction or you're out of the network. Of course, it happens differently in different blockchains, but that's the basic idea. You either fix your transactions, because we say, all of us, the majority says that that transaction is correct, or you get out of the network. That's it. So what happens is that if you want to interfere with the transaction, if you want to interfere with the state of blockchain, you need the majority of the nodes. So in that case, we need 3 nodes. Node 1, node 2, and node 3. But what is the problem with getting 3 nodes? That's lots of money, because if you want to run Ethereum node, you need 32 Ethereum. That's around $60,000. So $60,000 is a lot for one node. You're only running one node, not 3. And big blockchains have around 10,000, maybe 20,000 nodes. So imagine you need to get 10,000 computers, and each computer costs $60,000. The price fluctuates, because we are in the cryptocurrency world. Yeah, the price fluctuates, and you need a lot of money in order to interfere with the network. And the worst thing is that if you interfere with the network, for example, you say that some account has 10,000 Ethereum, so you just add 10,000 to an account. It's going to be really, really bad for the network. So the people are going to see like, wait, this account just got $10,000 or 10,000 Ethereum. What the hell is happening with the network? I'm out of here. So basically, you don't want to do that, because you will not be able to. You need to contact lots of people, or you need to buy lots of software software and hardware. Not software, sorry. You're going to need to buy lots of hardware, lots of computers in order to pull that off. And that is really, really, really expensive. And you'll probably not want to do that, because if you change the outcome of the network, lots of people may see that, and they are going to say, okay, that network is broken, I'm going to get out of here. That's the basic idea of decentralization. So you need the majority of nodes, and all those nodes are in different parts of the world owned by different people. And each node, by the way, earns money. So node is not just like a voluntary thing that you run and it helps the network. It earns you money. So imagine that you need to contact people and say, I'm gonna break the thing that earns you money in order to earn money for myself. Of course, most of them are gonna say no if you don't convince them. And that's the basic idea of decentralization. Okay, so yeah, we go to actor here, nodes, all those nodes work with our transaction, and then the transaction is sent to our to this actor. Of course, we have miners, so miners that mine the transaction. They have different consensus algorithms that allow us to check if the transaction is valid and so on. But basically, that's the basic idea. You have different nodes that run the same software, and if node wants to interfere with the outcome of the other nodes, so the majority says that you are not correct. And by the way, if the majority decides that something is correct, the blockchain is gonna be in favor of that majority, because that's how it works. If we want to update something, we need the majority to decide that that update is really correct. And that happened in Ethereum, for example. All the nodes updated to a newer software. The software did not interfere with the money, as far as I'm concerned, but it just updated the network. And that's just how it works. All the nodes updated the network, and it's better for everyone because network is faster. Network is faster. That's how it works. Okay, but now let me give you examples. So we can send money, we can do something. How do we use it in the real world? Okay, so the main idea is that we don't trust anybody. And if we don't trust anybody, what we can do is do those things. The first thing that I'm going to show you, the first example is a liquidity protocol. So before I do that, now what you can do is run decentralized programs. So basically you're going to run a program, you're going to write some code. You write some code and you run it on those nodes separately. And nobody can interfere with the code, so that means that nobody can change the outcome of the program. And if you write something, it's going to be true forever. So if you write something and nobody can change the program, if you cannot change the program, that's just what it is. Okay, so you run programs on different computers, and that is one example. So Aave. What is Aave? Or they say Aave, but I just read it as Aave because it is what it is. Okay, so what is Aave? Aave is basically a protocol that allows you, so a program that allows you to lend and borrow money. That's just it. And why do we need to lend and borrow money on Aave? Why can't I just do it in the bank? Well, first of all, because if you do it in the bank, there is a big chance that your account is going to get closed. There is a big chance that something is going to happen. Of course, right now you'll probably get a lot of money from the bank, but you can do it in Aave in a decentralized fashion. Basically, you do not trust anyone. You do not trust anyone with your money. You do not get the money from one single person. You get money from the pool. So you have $3 million, and yeah, as you can see, it's not a lot. So $3 million, of course, for one coin only. So you have different coins here, and total is $93 million. It's not a lot. So yeah, the protocol is still relatively new. It's like not even 4 years old. So yeah, but $93 million is not a lot. And if you want to get a very big loan, then you will not be able to. But basically what you have here is you get the money, so you put some money in the pool and then you can borrow some money. And that's the basic idea. So here, if you use Aave, you can borrow money in a decentralized fashion. You don't need to trust anybody with your money or with your collateral. You just put collateral here, collateral is somewhere there, and if you are not liquidated, if everything is alright with the money, with the price, then you just easily can get the collateral out. And the same goes for all the other protocols. So basically, Aave is an application that allows you to easily borrow and supply money without having any trusted third party. Because what we do is we run the program on the nodes. Nobody can change it, so nobody will mess with the outcome. That's it. And the other example is my own token, which is called Safe Token. So you know that in crypto world there is a big set of scams when people buy lots of tokens and then they just sell all of them. So you buy lots of tokens, or you create a token, you say that, that token is the new Bitcoin, the token is the future. People buy the token, so the price rises, and then you sell 99% of the tokens. So basically you earn money because you want people to buy the token, they buy the token, the price rises, and then the price drops once you sell all the tokens in your account. And of course, it is really, really bad because lots of people will lose their money. Only the chosen ones who created the token or who want to profit of the token will get the money. But here in my safe token, what is that and why is it called safe? Because you can only use 25 tokens a day. For example, we have 9,999 and so on tokens in our supply. So if I buy those tokens right now, I'll only be able to spend 25 a day. And the whole token community will only be able to spend 25,000. So that means that nobody can easily buy all the tokens and then sell them. So drop the price. Even if I have, as a creator, if I have millions of tokens, if I have 99% of the total supply, I can only transfer 5% a day. And 5% is for the whole community, so I can only transfer like 0.005 of all the tokens. And why is that important? That is important because if you can only sell that much amount of tokens each day, then what does that mean? That means that first of all, that is a big scarcity for the tokens. So your tokens are really important for the people because you cannot buy 50,000 tokens, you cannot sell 50,000 tokens. You can mint 50,000 tokens, but if all the tokens are minted, so if you don't have anything to create, so mint is like the tokens that you need to create. If you created all 9 million tokens, after that you cannot spend more than, for example, 50 tokens. So that daily usage is a variable, so it varies. You cannot spend more than 50 tokens if you minted all the tokens, and you cannot buy more than 50 tokens, you cannot sell. So the price will not rise or drop significantly. And that means that if the price does not drop or rise significantly, then we can easily say that that token is safe. And why will not rise or drop significantly? Because basically you cannot do anything with the token once your daily usage is over. So your daily usage is for buy, sell, loan, borrow, everything. So your daily usage is basically all the operations that you can do with the token combined. You cannot sell it on Uniswap, you cannot sell it on any other exchange. You can only use 24 tokens, and that usage can be transferred to a friend, can be buy, can be sell, or whatever. And that means that only 25,000 tokens out of like 500,000 that were minted, only like 5%, can be used in order to, can be used. That's it. Of course, that daily usage resets daily, but we are sure that nobody will spend more than needed. And that way, the price will not drop significantly or rise very high. So that's my safe token. If you're interested in it, you can go to my wallet management. Well, the link is in the description, so you can just go there, read about it here, because I did not explain everything. I have a white paper and I have an article on Medium. So you can go here and look at it. But for now, that's just it. Thank you for watching. My name is Andrew. I think now you know what is decentralization and why do we need it. Trusted third party is a big thing today and it will not go away. So trusted third party like banks, I don't think that they will go away because we will still need them. But maybe they will change their direction. Trusted third party goes to blockchain. Of course, not everything, but some of them goes to decentralization. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Check out my Void token. So go into Safe token. And thank you and bye-bye.